You know, I've often joke with people, and I kind of thought about it again. I think, you know, there's some validity to that. When I made the comment that I think God had baseball in mind when he created this entire thing.
Oh, really?
No.
This is a real American. Sing that song again, Blake.
I'll explain this to you. God had a perfect game going.
Okay.
Until there was a throwing error by Adam, a fielding error by Eve. God's perfect game was ruined. Sin, sickness, and hell gained momentum on God's lead. Well, there was no one on earth that could stop it. So God had to groom a young prospect, and he had to mold him and shape him and groom him to become the relief pitcher. And so that day he walked into this, rode into the stadium of Jerusalem on a donkey, and the fans cheered for him. This was the guy. They cheered, they praised, they sang Hosanna. But a few days later, this wasn't the guy they bargained for. They wanted him traded. They booed him. They wanted him dead. Because this was not the relief pitcher they thought they were going to get. These are what I call fair weather fans, if you will. And on that day, he's crucified and dies, and sin popped the champagne bottles on Friday night. Thought they had won. They had the celebrations and the parades on Saturday night. They thought they had won. But in the bottom of the ninth, early on Sunday morning, God picked up the phone, called down to the bullpen, and told his closer to get up.
Come on now.
And when the closer got up, the ground shook. When the closer got up, the guards passed out. When the closer got up, all of hell broke loose, literally. And when the closer got up, and that rock was rolled away, there stood a man whose name was above all names. They called him El Shaddai. They called him Emmanuel. They called him the stone that the builders rejected. And he walked out of his own tomb on his own 2 feet, clothed in his right mind, and today is known as the greatest miracle in the history of civilization, better known as the resurrection. Game over.